everyone, welcome to another video. Today is a study day. You guys know on Thursdays we do a study, and so the study for today is actually a master study. So a master study is basically where you take a piece of art that you really like from an artist that you really admire, someone you would consider a master, and you just pretty much copy it. So that's what I'm doing today. I am doing a master study for ABD Illustrates. He has a channel here on YouTube. I really enjoy his content. I really enjoy his art style, and recently he just came out with a reference book for artists. I purchased it, of course, because not only is it a reference book, which is good for like how to draw and stuff, but also I was just like, it's like an art book. I like art books. I like to collect art books from artists that I like, and so I snatched it up with its pre-sale price. And I got it delivered a couple of weeks ago, and I've just been holding on to it because I knew I wanted to do master studies using it. It just took me a while to build up the courage because I thought it was going to be really hard. And spoiler alert, you guys, it was actually super fucking hard. It was really hard. Master studies, I would not say are supposed to be easy because it's supposed to be someone that you consider a master, and so I feel like ABD Illustrates is a master, and I really admire the way that he draws bodies and stuff. I just think his style is really cool, and so when I went into this, I was like, this is gonna be hard. I knew it was gonna be hard, and honestly, it kicked my fucking front teeth out. It was really super hard. So first and foremost, there's only one drawing in this video. The book is full of over 100 drawings. I just decided to keep it down to one because I was like, it's going to take me a long time. I really don't know how I'm going to be able to approach this. And this one drawing took me 2 hours, which is not bad, just from beginning to like literally from sketch to finished piece, 2 hours, which is not too bad. It went faster because it was digital. I did it digitally because there was no way I was going to be able to do this traditionally. ABD Illustrates is primarily a digital artist, so I was like, well, we got to go with the medium that the master does their medium, right? That does their art in, right? So I made it digital, and also I knew that it was going to be a little bit easier for me to approach this digitally. I do have the physical book, and so it was a little bit hard for me to just look at the book and copy the details, but I knew it would have been like way harder if I was like thinking about it in terms of traditional art because I would have been erasing and stuff. I did erase a little bit when it came to this digitally too, but I feel like I'm a little bit more I guess sometimes I am a little bit more anal when it comes to digital art, but also I knew that this was a study, and so since I just had to look at the picture and copy it, it was a little bit easier for me. I feel like doing it digitally as versus traditionally, and also I feel like trying to film a traditional setup while having a book open and trying to shove my face into the book so I can look really closely to get all the details was going to be super hard to film, so that's why the video is digital. And so first and foremost, I was trying to learn how he breaks down bodies, and so thankfully, since it is a reference book for artists, he has several steps that break down the construction of the body and the details and adding more details in the color and stuff, and so that made it pretty easy to follow along. But I was just, I don't know, for some reason when I was sketching, I had a really hard time with it's his right hand, but it's the left hand from the way that we're looking at it. I could not get that hand, and so in the sketching process, I was just like doing everything that I could to skip out on drawing that hand. It was just really hard for me, and eventually I finished the sketch, and I don't finish that hand. I'm just like, fuck that hand, I'll come back to it later, and I ended up aligning the drawing before I even finished that hand. I do that sometimes in digital art. I don't really do that traditionally because it's a little bit harder to flow that way, but in digital art sometimes, since you can go back, I just like, I'll finish that part of the sketch later after I finish the line art for this part. And so the line art I feel like was actually the easiest part. Honestly, the hardest part was getting the sketch down because ABD Illustrates, he breaks down bodies in a way that's not exactly dissimilar to the way that I do it, but also very dissimilar to the way that I do it. I feel like first and foremost, the chest was very wide, and I feel like I also draw the chest pretty wide, but something about it, like the guy that it is supposed to be like a teenage boy, like high school boy, but I don't know, it felt like really barrel chested, and the way that ABD Illustrates draws legs also feels very distinct to me. What really helped me out, I felt like I learned a little bit about his process here, but also I felt like studying the way that he draws feet actually helped me understand feet a little bit better, so I might steal the way that he draws feet because I feel like whenever I draw feet, they don't look very much feet like, and just seeing the way that he breaks down feet helped me a little bit understand the way that feet look. And so when I was actually doing the study, I was like, are these shoes actually coming out good? Obviously, I tried my best to copy the reference 1-to-1. It was a little bit hard for me. I didn't get it exactly 1-to-1, primarily in like the shoes and stuff. Like, obviously my art's not gonna look exactly like his art because we're different people. Even if I'm copying his style and stuff, the way that he approaches things and the way I approach things just is going to be different because we're different people, we have different brains. And so the way that my brain set it up is a little bit different. And so but I do think that I really learned how to draw feet and like the shoes from this. I was like, wow, these shoes actually look like shoes. I'm so proud of myself. I would not be able to draw shoes like this on my own. And so actually looking at the process that he breaks down shoes and feet and then drawing them from that actually helped me out a lot, which is like the whole point of master studies, is to help you learn. I feel like I actually learned something, but honestly I was torturing myself the whole time because as I was working on it, I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. This is so hard. And I'm like, I have to do gradients. Listen, the drawing does have gradients in it, you guys. I did not draw gradients, okay? I'm not a Procreate master. I don't know how to make a gradient. I know someone probably come along and it's like, it's actually really simple. If you want to come into my comments and be like, it's actually really simple to make a gradient, please do. I would love to learn how to make a gradient. I don't know how to do that. I just put down one color and I put down another color and I blended it together using the smudge tool, and I'm like, this looks awful. It actually does not look awful. It looks fine. But it's not the same gradient. It's not as smooth of a gradient, which is unfortunate for me, but that's okay. I also felt like I learned a little bit about about lighting, because he has like very strong light coming from the top right. And so I also copied that very strong light. I'm like, this actually looks good. And also helped me learn a little bit about like, not screen tone, because it's not exactly screen tone, but how to have like different values for like manga shading and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys know this about manga, which you probably do if you follow my channel. I'm a freaking nerd, so I talk about manga and shit. So if you like that sort of thing, I'm assuming that you also like that sort of thing if you listen to me ramble about it. So it's like different tones. Like, some manga is just straight black and white, but other ones use values of grays and stuff. And so I feel like this helped me a little bit learn about how to apply values, so that way it's not just all solid black when it comes to shading for like manga and stuff. I felt like that was really useful. And that's actually what you see me doing right now. I'm trying to fill in all of the black tones. And then after I fill in all the black tones, I'm going to go in and add the grays underneath. I actually did not plan out the black tones especially well. I just copied the reference. But yeah, it was hard. And then I had to go over and add the lines back in. I'm actually very used to adding whites back in for black, so that wasn't actually very hard for me. Honestly, the hardest part of this was the sketching. The color blocking, not too hard for me. It's not exactly 1-to-1, even though I tried to make it as 1-to-1 as possible. But I feel like for my very first master study, this drawing actually came out pretty well. I've never done a master study before in my life. And now that I know how hard it is, I don't know if I'm going to do another one. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I might do another one for you guys, but I didn't know it was going to be so hard. But, art is hard, and if we're trying to learn, it's going to be hard. Anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you in the next one. Bye.